For me personally, the thing I wanted people to feel when they saw the character Lumote was curiosity.
I really wanted Lumote to be something familiar, but other as well, but not so other where they're like, oh, this is weird. It's an adorable type of weirdness. Lumote started off as a cube, basically. All the creatures started off as a cube. When you make a game, the easiest thing to make is just a cube creature, and then that's how you kind of flesh out the gameplay.
A lot of games, when you start your character design, you start with really basic elements. And it was just kind of hilarious that this was sort of one of the most basic elements we could start with, which was a glowing cube. But that also helped in the sense of, could you get a sense of an attachment to it? So that's where we started to turn it more into a creature rather than just an abstract cube.
We wanted this idea of inorganic life. Character that was made out of rock that people thought was alive.
We went to see the aquarium a lot, and we looked at the deep sea creatures and just corals. That added to the otherness of the world of Lumote, because when you look at things from the deep sea, they are things that exist. These are things within our world, but it's so out of our normal day-to-day consciousness that it's just oh, this is weird.
So we started just going down this path of getting concept artists. And so, over time, we started adding more organic elements because we were looking at all these different undersea creatures. Tube worms, for example, they've got this hard shell, and then there's just some little feathery things coming out of them and stuff like that. And so we started trying to incorporate these types of elements, recognizing that creatures that were made strictly of rock, just by nature of their visual design, ended up becoming really mechanical. And eventually he had given me an iteration of Lumote that was this crystal cube, and it had this spherical blob thing with one little antenna sticking out of it.
He went too far to the sea, and the sea is also kind of gross, you're by the sea, it smells like seaweed, and then it washes on shore and it's slimy, and I didn't really want that for Lumote.
And we wanted something that felt more lovable, right? And as the game progressed from its early elements that were more influenced by horror and darkness, and then as Lumote became cuter, it became brighter, we changed the visual style of the whole game. The elements that we thought that were important in the character design evolved over time to change into things that were, well, squishy, cute, and lovable.
A fun, not nature thing that we kind of drew inspiration in for Lumote was the jujube candies. The dome of them, having that jube shape with the little legs attached was the right amount of adorableness, I thought.
Once Lumote lost the cube, that's really when we started to hone in on how do we maximize the cuteness of this character. We wanted to have a unique signature sound, and what's interesting is Lumote's the only character in the game that actually has a human voice. All the other creatures in the game are all either samples or synthesizer sounds. Yeah, sorry, we might be interrupted occasionally. They're electrical in the basement.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's always the way.
It's always Murphy's Law.
Yep, always the way. That's okay.
Okay, cool.
All good.
Yeah. Those are great. So it was it was an interesting challenge coming up with basically the vocabulary of Lumote. It turned out that you could actually use really small voice reactions, and working with the voice actress, we focused on getting a whole range of sounds like surprise and fear. That was quite a lot of fun to figure out what was the right balance and length of vocal reactions that would be endearing and not annoying. Okay, so so this will be or when it stops, then just jump right in. I'll wait for the drill to stop. We'll be ready.
Yeah, so Lumote is still a cube. It's just a cube. It's literally a bone, like a single joint that rotates. So like all the hopping animation, it's like it literally like goes up, rotates, lands, and that's it. Everything else is a physics simulation.
All of the cuteness of Lumote is procedural animation, which is like kind of cool. Like the essence of the feel of the motion really comes from Verlet cloth system, but we've applied it to the actual character itself. It's simple nowadays just because it's such a well-known algorithm, but you can still get such emotive animation out of it. And we really leveraged that tech for all of the cute bits on all the creatures. Like a lot of the feel kind of neatly comes from a whole bunch of tweaked to mathematical equations. So you can get emotion out of math, and Lumote's a good example of that.